Hi, today we will be talking about skills test for spreadsheets and ICT. This exact same document is uploaded onto the website and you can see it easily there. The skills tested for spreadsheets are extremely simple. Cell references, enter formula, the formulas themselves, and printing the spreadsheet. The confusing part may come in the formula. For example, we can look up count if, sum if, or the nesting of ifs. But that will come quite naturally once you get the hang of it by solving a lot of past papers. Now, here I have uh, already made Excel worksheet, and I'll just be using it to demonstrate some of these ideas. Cell and range preferences and range references are basically this. 11 is a cell reference. On the other hand, sometimes what you want to do is, for example, you may want to sum up a bunch of numbers. For example, 10, 14, 7, 10, 14, 21, 14, 10, all these numbers. In that case, you just drag it. And you see this F11 colon F20, that is your range reference. This range reference can also take place for many other things. For example, this to this would be C11 colon F22. That is a range reference. Now how it goes is, because you are always creating a rectangle in Excel, it goes from your reference on the corner on the top left corner and takes it down to a bottom right corner. So you read it as C11 colon F20. C11 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 to F20 as shown before. Now I'll just get rid of this for now. Whenever you enter formula, as I've just shown you previously, you have to enter in equals. In that case, you can go, let's say this times 7, which gives you the answer 70. You can also use this fx function, fx button, and go and look up for some of these. For example, you can go to all, search up for integers, or you can just type a brief description of what you want the Excel to do. And for example, count, search it up, count, count A, count if, count A, count. All these are coming up. So it is a really handy option for you to have in the exams, aside from this help button over here, which you can always refer back to. Now using formula, we'll be going through plus, minus, and multiply and division. Although division isn't really tested on ICT exams. Basically, it's really simple. 7 times, let's say 5 equals 35. This one can be, I'll just get rid of my number lock over here. 9 minus 5, 4. This one can be equals 9 plus 5 equals 14. These are all things you know. Now let's go for something more complicated in that case. Let's give it range, cell reference, and multiply it by this cell reference. 10 times 14 is 140. Let's see if it works. Yes, it worked, and that is how you use plus, minus, multiply formulas. Not exactly formula, arithmetics. Of course, you can also put in division by apologies. Can also add in division by putting in this division button over here. For example, equals 9 divided by 9. This button over here. You can use that. Now, I'll just be showing you how to use the sum button. Basically, what the sum button does, it adds up every single number in a certain cell reference. For example, 27, 9, 14, 8, 21, 8. Let's just add them all up. 27 plus 9, 36, plus 14, 50, 58. 50 plus 8 is 58. 58 plus 21 is 79. 79 plus 8 is 87. Let's see if it works. 87. So basically, you just give our cell a range reference, and it will add in every single number in that reference. Of course, it doesn't work if you, for example, let's type in sum again. Apologies, I'm using only one hand to type all these. If you have non-integer values or non-number values, of course it's not going to work, and it will just add up the numbers, only the numbers in a certain range. It's not going to add up all these English over here. Now, when looking at averages, averages are also really similar, given that average is basically can get an average of this is basically getting the mean of a certain range of numbers, used mostly in mathematics and things like that. Many of you probably know the formula, sigma f times x over sigma x, which is basically the full derivative of averages, and you can use it in this case as well. For example, just get the entire thing. Hang on, I'll type in average. Oh god, average. Okay, there you go. So there. Then I'll just get this entire value of numbers. I don't know what the average of that will be. It's probably going to be around 10. Yep, about there. So that's how you use the average button. For minimum button, basically what you do is, I'll just get a set of numbers over here. Now I have numbers from 1 to 16. For this min button, what you can do is find the minimum number from a certain range reference. So from age 1 to age 16 is obviously going to be 1. Now let's in a bit of twist over here, going from 0, 1, all the way up to 21. Oh, sorry, 20. In this case, if you put in the minimum value for a certain range from here to here, it's going to be 0. Nonetheless, if you try and find the maximum value for age 1 to age 16, it's going to be 16. But after adding that little tweak over here, from here to here, give you the exact number, which is going to be 20. So it doesn't matter if you even have English over here. Let's just add in a few English there. Oh gosh. Now, once we added in the English, okay, let's just see what happened to it. It didn't affect it at all, and just to check whether that's true or not, I'll just re-enter the cell references here to here. Once again, it's 20. So these numbers once again do not affect the outcome of max, minimum, and min functions. Oh gosh. Whoops. I have to enter another one. Now count and count A are actually strikingly different. Count is basically it just counts almost everything. It counts the amount of numbers in a certain range. From here to here, there will be, I believe there will be 4. However, if you use the count a function, it is actually strikingly different, given that count a function gets every single value from a certain range. From here to here, from the same cell references, is going to give you 10. No, it's not the same cell references. I'll just add them in. 8. So it gives you exactly the double, which because it also counted the text. Nonetheless, the count function only counts the integers. Now this int function is actually not used very often in ICT exams. I actually didn't see it a lot, but it basically rounds any number down to its nearest integer, as you see on the description. For example, now let's say we have this ridiculous number over here in cell reference J1. You can put it equals int, and it's going t of J1, and it's going to give you 0 because it rounds to the nearest integer. Let's change this to 0.95 just to give it so that it rounds to 1. Once you just enter it, that's a bit weird, apologies. Now integer function actually rounds it down. Apologies for that. Yep, it rounds the number down. So basically, even if you have 1.99999 or some ridiculous number like that, it will still give you 1. So in truth, 0.999999, which is basically 3 on 3, will give you 0 in this Excel. Of course, it's not going to happen because 3 divided by 3 will come as 1. But when just talking about decimals, and you put in like thousand of nines, it will still come out as 0. VLOOKUP, COUNTIF, SUMIF is the main highlight of this video. Now, in fact, that is what this entire spreadsheet was designed for. So I also have this NX test over here. NX test has the code and the destination. In this case, I only have the code, which has been written down for me. What the VLOOKUP does is that it finds the code and it matches it with the destination. Hang on. Now let's type in the function equals VLOOKUP. With VLOOKUP, it asks you to find the lookup value. This case is B2 table array, which is where you're going to find it from. You're going to find it from this over here. And it tells you to find the column index number. So basically, where is your answer going to lie? Is in column 1 or column 2? In this case, we have the code, but we need to find the destination. Therefore, it's column index number 2. Just add it in, and it'll give you Brazil. Let's check. BRA is Brazil. Now let's just drag it down so that we get it for every single answer. Seems extremely correct to me. And just on that note, I did not go through absolute references properly, but absolute references basically what they is that they lock a certain cell reference. So, for example, if you, for those of you that do not get it at this time, h1 times I1. If you do this, it's going to give you 0. When you drag it down, it's going to be h2 and I2. What the what basically the thing does for you, the absolute references does for you is that it locks this value. Oops, I believe it's dollar sign. Apologies. Yep. Is it? Oh, I didn't know differently for such a long time. Never mind. As you can see, it has locked this value to this certain value. So from here to here, it doesn't change. We can see the h changing from h1, h2, h3, but this value has not changed. Oh, in that case, this must be this. Apologies. Apologies, I did not recognize that. I was too used to open office. So $1, put the dollar sign before. Now, anyways, just going back to what we are on VLOOKUP. I hope everyone has understood it. Just to recap, the first thing you want to put in is what you're looking for, what you want the destination to represent. In this case, we want it to represent the code. Then we need to find out where we are going to get the information from, which is this certain table over here. Then we need to add in the column index number, which is what information do you want to be represented on your certain on your cell. This case we already had the code. That is why we added in destination and put it as column index number 2 to clarify that it is the destination that we want to see. After the Excel has already looked for and found the code, located the code of this on this, and then it is going to use the column index number to locate what you're going to be represented. If you put this as 1, it's going to show SBRA again. No, that was a hard one. COUNTIF is slightly easier. In this case, we can use COUNTIF to represent the trips. The number of trips is the D code over here, for those of you who have not noticed. So basically, what we have to do is COUNTIF. What happened? COUNTIF a certain range, D code, the entire D code. In fact, later on you can put as DC. I just put as DC. I just formatted to DC, but you do not have to do that. So let's just, for argument's sake, put it there. Then you can give it the criteria, which is B2. You want the number of Brazils to be shown. It says 0. Whoops. Still says 0. It's only for D11. This should be D11. D11 to D83. B2. 13. Let's copy paste the function. And it shows you the number that this BRA is shown on this certain range of values. Now, using SUMIF is also about the same. It goes out along the same regulations. Equals SUMIF. Making this mistake. SUMIF certain range criteria sum range. This case, once again, the range is this D code. Then a criteria is BRA, and what we want to add after locating all these is this duration. Okay, I believe we are done. 152. So this is where you're going to find the information from. B2 is what you want to find in this certain range. The last one is what you want to add up. Let's just copy paste all these. The if function in this case is not exactly representative for testing purposes, but if you use if function requires you to have a logical test, value if true, value if false. So let's say we want to say a yes if there is a duration of more than 10 days. So the logical test for this would be if f11 is more than 10, then I want to say y. However, if it is wrong, I want to say no. Okay. This case, it was exactly 10, so it said no. But if we put this uh, equals or more than, it will say yes. In fact, the same line of reasoning goes for everything else. So this is for F12, which is definitely more than 10. This is for F13, which is less than 10. Now on to the nesting of ifs. Basically, the nesting of ifs comes when you add in multiple ifs. Or for example, you add another if over here. So once you've done this and it fails, so it's less than 10, you can give another logical test. Example, f11 is more than 5, then you can say ish. Value if false, you can say no. So this case once again was equal to or more than 10. For this one, it was 7, the value of 7. So given ish, because it is still more than 5. And none of it had something less than 5, so let's just put this one, for argument's sake, I'll put it as 2. And you immediately see the change to no. You can do this multiple times, so you can even say, you can even go to this one, because if then you do it again, f11 is more than 2, and things like that. Put another nest over here. And I'll just end it over there. Whoops, I must have added the wrong number of parentheses. Basically, what I have done in this case is that if f11 is more than 10, yes. If f11 is more than 5, ish. F11 is more than 2, really maybe. If f11 is, or otherwise, If F11 is more than 1, aren't you going too far? Let's just replace this for everything. Change the numbers here and there. Let's put this as 0, which will give you a no. Let's put this one as 3, which will give you a really maybe. Let's put this as 6, which will give you ish, and 14. This is yes. So that is basically the nesting of ifs. Now printing the spreadsheet. Uh, Firstly, I'll show you how to do page setup. In page setup, go to print, print preview. Then click on page setup. In this case, you can add in the headers. You can even change the size of A4. You can just adjust it, so that it looks nice. Or you can put it on landscape, whatever. Close print view. That is really the confusing part comes when you have to add all these functions and show all these functions. What you do is you go to advanced in Excel options. I click on this button, Excel options, advanced, going all the way down to display options for this worksheet. Show formulas in cells instead of the calculated results. Immediately, it doesn't fully do this, so I'll just put it onto this. Shows you every single formula available in this worksheet. It's just very handy, and you have to show this in your actual IGCSEs. The quick toggle back and forth is control. Basically, the sign that I've added is this sign over here. Can everyone see it? It is basically above the tab button and right beside the 1 for most keyboards. And it also gives this kind of I don't know how to call that, a sort of a wave sign. Yeah, for those of you who use this quite a bit, like hey, something like that. Oh no. Yes, and that is the easy toggle back and forth between functions and the result. So thanks all. Our this skills test for spreadsheets is uploaded on the website. I hope that this video has helped you in furthermore advancing your knowledge. Thanks.